It's a really funny interface thing. I thought when I was using this the other day, now we're broadcasting. Okay. When I was using the interface the other day, I thought people's names would be underneath their screens, and it doesn't seem to be the case anymore, at least for me.
Now you can hover with the mouse over them. Then you see at least the start.
Yeah, okay.
But you're right, this changed. This was like a week ago, definitely there, you're right.
Well, I am so intrigued by this interface, I actually set up a test site for my institute, so I had everybody trying that out yesterday.
How did it go?
It went okay. We all left funny notes for each other on the whiteboard, which is kind of entertaining. So again, for folks who are just showing up, if you have a gadget to show, line up behind me. Sorry, me is Tom Martin. I'm standing up at the podium here in the flag room. So there's a red line from the podium going backwards, going to the right. So if you have a gadget to show off, please come line up in the on the red line.
So Rebecca, there is no sound, I think. Could it be that the sound is not broadcast to Hoover?
I think the sound is broken. Sorry, I think the sound is broken.
We got some terrible feedback. So folks who are just wandering in, again, if you have a gadget to show off, the podium's in the middle of the room, and there's a red carpet, red line going to the right from behind it. So just line up behind me, me being Tom Martin, and we'll take you in the order that you're standing in line. And whenever you're ready to broadcast, just let me know, and we'll get started.
Are we going in order, or?
Yeah, we're going in the order in which you're standing in the line behind me.
Okay. How do we see who's playing their gadget right now?
They're supposed to be broadcasting, and I'm just waiting for the heads up that the broadcast is ready to begin.
Gotcha.
So, Christoph? Okay, then why don't we go ahead and get started? So everybody, welcome to the Gadget Show. For the old hands at ISWC, we'll try to make this as much like the real thing as possible. Sorry we can't be together in person. But basically the idea of the Gadget Show is if you've got some gadget, whether it's something you've made yourself or something you've found off the shelf that's just really cool, take a minute and describe it to the audience, and hopefully it'll spur some conversations with the audience, and you can go off to the side afterwards. So again, for folks who've just shown up, the way we do this is you line up in order behind me, and I'm Tom Martin, and I'm standing here at the podium, and if you see the red line going off to the right, that's where the line is. And so I'm going to, hang on a second, let me spotlight myself. So I'm going to step away here. There's a dot right next to the podium. So for the people who are standing in line behind me, when it's your turn, please step up on that dot, and then everybody in the room can hear you. You should see a globe over your head. What I'd like to do is everybody introduce yourself and say where you're from, and then what your gadget is. And I will try not to heckle too much. I try to keep this light and fun. So why don't we take it away? And first in line, Thad, step on up.
Okay, folks, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so this is something called the Smart Palette by Complete Speech. It's an electrode array that goes along the roof of your mouth. And what I'm going to do is show that you can actually do silent spelling of text entry with it. So I'm putting this in my mouth, and I'm wearing a noise-canceling headset, so I'm going to whisper as I speak, or as I spell, so you can actually see this thing work. At the top here, you're going to see top here, you actually see the electrode array. This is my mouth as I do it. This interface here is just a text entry experiment that we're doing. And so I will go through a couple words here. This is the PCA components of it. Is it up there? So one thing you can do is you can push the tongue against the roof of your mouth to undo the last word. I'll do it again. By selecting the, by tapping, oh my, okay. Well, so much for that demo. But basically, hopefully you can see the fact that I was actually being able to silently whisper, or I could whisper spelling a word, and it pulled up the word, and you can select between them just by tapping on doing gestures on the roof of the mouth, and actually erasing words by just pushing against the tongue against the full roof of the mouth. And what I was showing last night is I was getting about 50 words per minute for text entry this way. And there's no reason this device can't be wireless and fully in the mouth. Okay, that's it for me.
That's very cool, Thad. Trying to take this back to the very early days of wearable computing, any thoughts about how to use this in Vegas?
Oh yeah, clearly. Yeah, I didn't think about that, man. But clearly, I can start doing card entry with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. we gotta go try it. You're on. Okay. You're on, Tom.
Very cool. Jay. Right. Thanks, Thad. All right. Who's up next? Daniel. Like I said, introduce yourself to everybody and then take it away.
I think that's me. So I'm Dan Rogan from the University of Sussex, professor in sensor technology, and the gadget that I want to show you today, if you can see that, it's our small wearable sensing platform. This is the new generation of it. So it is capable of sensing motion, which is not really so much of a surprise, but we can as well sense sound. So we have two microphones, so we can do actually stereo or beamforming directly on the platform. And we can, of course, also get ADC input. And I will just try to show you. So, of course, we have also nice watch-like cases so that we can actually strap that on the wrist and collect some data. What I'll try to show you is that it does really capture the sound. Hopefully you can see that.
Yep.
So that's the platform. If I snap my fingers, you can see a sharp peak, and if I play a sound on my phone, we'll see some waveform coming out. So that's basically sound, 8 kilohertz up to 20 kilohertz. Motion data can be sent at the same time, together with ADC data as well. So we can really do multimodal sensing. Everything is time-stamped. Everything is includes packet counters. So we can really do multimodal sensing and data collection. And we plan to use that for a number of applications in our research group. So you can see here, top left, acceleration, gyroscope, magnetometer, orientation, top right, ADC input, and bottom right, sound. So that's my gadget.
That's a great gadget, Daniel.
Thank you. Anyway, more questions I may be available to answer. See you.
All right. Thanks. Next, Josiah, take it away. Like I said, introduce yourself, say where you're from, and is this the batteryless Game Boy?
This is the Game Boy.
Alrighty.
Can you see it? I'm new to the gather. So yeah, this is the battery-free Game Boy. So I'm just here on behalf of the rest of the team. So Jasper DeWinkle, Vito Kortbeek, Przemysław Pawelczak from TU Delft, and then myself, Josiah Hester from Northwestern University. And we actually just had a cloud go over, so it may be hard to see because, it is very much, it's very dependent on how much energy you have, but I'm playing it right now. I don't know if you can see the tetronymos going down and the interruptions when I'm not pressing enough. I have to remember to press A, and turn my blocks. So now we're doing pretty good. Yeah, there we go. And I'm a little embarrassed because I'm playing terrible Tetris right now because I'm trying to talk and think about what I'm... and there a cloud just went over, so we kind of lost some play. So that's the Game Boy. We're going to just show a little bit of the insides because, that's probably what a lot of Gadget folks want to see as well.
Sure.
Here is PCB. You can see the supercapacitor. Here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different magnetic buttons, basically, that we press to generate a little bit of energy. This is stored into one of those TI BQ2570 chips, which is has a front end, I think, is a buck converter, then it goes to a boost converter, then a buck converter output to the capacitor. And then this is a little Ambiq Apollo chip that we use connected to a FRAM IC to store non-volatile state. All of that goes out to this little screen. We worked hard to make the screen bigger, but there's only so much you can do.
Sure.
And then there's all of our solar panels. And that's the Game Boy.
So any thoughts on, so most of your, if I recall from the talk the other day, most of your energy is generated from the solar panels and some of it's from the buttons. Am I remembering that correctly?
That's correct. The buttons can give you just right over the hump, right, if you're about to die. But yeah, solar is much more present.
So any thoughts about making it like more or less energy efficient, the better that you're able to play? Like I can see it working either way. Like if you really, when you first pick it up and you're not any good at it, like you don't get to play for very long. And then the better you get, the longer you get to play. So there's, I realize ideally you'd like to have the best efficiency, but I think we could incorporate the energy harvesting into the actual gameplay. It should be kind of funny.
Exactly. And we also there's a little space on the screen at the bottom where we could put like an energy meter.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the to-dos, and we were like, we'll add this in later.
Okay.
And then that'll make the screen flash and be like, oh, crap. Okay, maybe, press buttons faster. Right. But we'll see. But yeah, we'll make it more efficient too, and then it'll be easier to play. But also, you notice it stops. And if you're playing a really fast, I'm on level 0. So if you're playing a very fast Tetris game, it does give you time to think.
Okay.
Before you go through it. So maybe that's a feature, not a bug, that you have some power failures.
Okay. Very cool. Thanks, Josiah. That's great. All right. Who's up next? Ken, take it away.
Yeah, nice to meet you. It's my first time to join the UbiComp and ISWC.
Hey, Ken, your microphone's kind of light for me. Could you? I don't know if you could speak up or turn up the volume a little bit. Maybe it's just me.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Try it now.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Is it all right?
Without the background noise.
Thanks.
Very good. Take it away. Oh, now you're muted. Lost him. There we go.
I get the.
You want to try it now?
Can you hear me?
You seem to be back.
Yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Ken from the University of Tokyo, Japan, and it's my first year to join the UbiComp and ISWC.
Well, thanks for coming. It's great to have you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd like to show our device. It's called As Ears. It's a glasses type hearing aid, and we're currently focusing on people with single-sided deafness who has deafness in one ear. And if you open it up, you can see all the PCBs. Can you see it? The microphones and the PCBs.
Yeah.
Inside the glasses. Yeah. And it works by, actually, I myself have deafness in my right ear, so I have an earphone only in my left ear. And with this glasses, transmit the sound from my deaf side to the hearing side.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're trying to like sell this, do mass production.
Lost him. Oh, we lost him. Hopefully he'll pop right back. While we're waiting to see if Ken comes back, is there anybody else that has a gadget to show? Wants to get in line? Oh, there he is. Hey, Ken, you're back.
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my Gadget 10 is unstable.
It's okay. It happens. Anything else to say about your gadget?
Yeah, actually, our work that we presented this time was getting rid of the wires between the hinges between the glasses, and that idea came up from actually making the glasses ourselves. That we realized that getting through the wires all through the glasses is like very difficult, and it makes the hinges very weak. So we came up with the idea to make the connection between the hinges like wireless, and we're like trying to like make that function into this glasses like maybe in next year or so.
Okay, that's a nice design challenge.
Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you for having me.
Anybody else in the room that's got a gadget to show off? Well, I'm going to, since we have a little bit of time and this is a different format, I've got a gadget to show off that I would not ever be able to show off at a normal ISWC. Because this is virtual, I can actually show you a room. And I hate to refer to a room as a gadget, but let me turn my camera around here. And so I'm at Virginia Tech. I'm at the Institute for Creativity, Arts, and Technology, and we have a facility that we call the Cube, even though it's not exactly a cube. It's about 40 feet by 50 feet by 35 feet. It was actually originally a black box theater, but we've instrumented it up so it's an immersive simulation space as well as a host of other things. If you look around the room, we have a 150 speaker surround sound system, and what the audio guys tell me is that we can create true democratic surround sound. So wherever you are in the room, you're getting the effect of the spatial audio at that space. We also have a 21 camera motion capture system that can be reconfigured. And so one of the uses of this room is to actually put several people in with heads up displays and put them in the same VR environment and have them walking around talking to each other in that VR environment. So we can have this immersive simulation for multiple people at the same time. It's also used for a wide variety of performances. So we had a set of high school students and undergrads who did an opera entirely in Minecraft that we performed in here. And we've also had somebody in our university who studies the biomechanics of flying snakes, brought flying snakes in here to track their motions with a motion capture system. So it's kind of a very expensive, very large gadget, but we've made it open to everybody who's affiliated with the Institute, and they always surprise us with things that they can do with it. And I'd be happy to talk to anybody if you have some ideas. So
how do you use that in Vegas?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So how do you use that in Vegas?
How do I use this in Vegas? What we'd actually like to do is have multiple cubes around the country and have simultaneous shows going on at the same time. So maybe I can't play games in Vegas with it, but maybe we could do a Vegas show. Imagine a Vegas show in Minecraft. So I guess the Vegas question is one I jinxed myself with. So anyway, that's my gadget. Anybody else that has something that they'd like to show off? Going once, going twice. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming to the Gadget Show. And if you have questions for any of the folks who presented, please track them down and talk to them. And I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. Christoph, do you have anything that you want to say before we close things down?
I just wanted to thank you, Tom. I mean, this was great. This was really, really interesting. In a virtual format, doing things we've never tried even before in this week. So thanks a lot for moderating this. Oh,
thanks for inviting me. It was my pleasure, and really happy I had a chance to try this out. There's actually some advantages to be. There's not a lot of advantages to being virtual, but I think there are some. So anyway, it's good to see everybody.
Silver lining. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody.